top lawyer in the federal government dealing with international law, the most important international lawyer in the government. And that's why he's leaving us now, or more precisely, why he will be giving up his deanship and embarking on a public service leave from his professorship at Yale Law School. This is an important distinction. Harold is not leaving, he is going on leave. And this will be his second public service leave. During the Clinton administration, Harold served for 2 years as Assistant Secretary of State for Human Rights, Democracy, and Labor. We wish him the best in his new position at this important time in our nation's history. We look forward to his Olympian-ranked service once again to our country. For my part, it's been a pleasure and a privilege to work with Harold, publish with him, teach with him, and also to know him as a close friend. He's an outstanding scholar, a challenging and beloved teacher, a champion of the rule of law and of human rights, and a compassionate and insightful advisor to countless colleagues and former students around the nation and around the world. At the same time, we already feel the loss of his boundless energy, his invigoration of so many parts of the law school, his commitment to the public interest, and his advocacy for a legal profession committed to service to others. We're thus most pleased that you've chosen him to speak today. As those who don't know him will soon observe, Harold is an enthusiastic and powerful communicator, and he has strong and considered views on many subjects, both momentous and seemingly commonplace. I hope he tells us about both. During his deanship, he kept the whole law school community informed of the achievements of each of its individual members, often by emails time-stamped 4:12 a.m. or thereabouts. And he never missed an opportunity to try to settle a problem that came to his attention. I know of no one more generous in times of personal need or institutional need. When the economic crisis came upon us this year, he masterfully and transparently explained how these events might affect the law school, reassuring the law school that we would remain strong and vibrant and bringing us closer together as a community. It is my honor to introduce to you your dean, our dean, Harold Hongju Poe.
So we graduate together, you and I. We started this journey together at Admitted Students Weekend. We promised we'd get here together, and we have. Together we hiked Sleeping Giant twice. We waxed on, we waxed off. We learned that federal courts are courts of subject matter jurisdiction. Who said they don't learn any law here? We witnessed a Red Sox World Series, a historic election. We lived through small groups, clinics, auto-admit, Analyphes, Guantanamo, Iraq, economic meltdown, swine flu. We howled at law review. We got new jobs, and you just met my boss. And then our start dates got deferred. But we readjusted. We decided to enjoy the moment. A few weeks ago, we started to say goodbye. After today, we go our separate ways. The road ahead seems bright, but hazy. Some of you aren't sure exactly what comes next. Neither am I. But on this beautiful day, full of hope, we put aside uncertainty for optimism. This journey wouldn't have been the same with anyone else. Today marks the last day of our old lives together, and one last time to count our blessings. You know, there's something about leaving Yale Law School that feels like arriving. I'm sure you've realized that. You're filled again with wonder. You see the glories of this place as if for the first time. Once again, we ask, how on earth did they ever let me in here? But here we are, surrounded by our families, wearing our robes, so it must mean we made it through okay. For that, we say thank you. Whether at times we felt lonely, we never did it alone. Thanks first to our families for supporting us, for reminding us what's important, for caring more about our happiness than our achievements. As for me, my greatest thanks go to 4 people there: my wife, Christy, my children, Emily and Will, my mom, for giving their hearts and their home this many years to the Yale Law School. Thanks also to the wonderful Kate Stitt. No one loves this law school more. Could you leap into a speeding car going 60 miles an hour and take over the controls? That's what she did. And along the way, she selflessly gave up her sabbatical to serve as acting dean and gave me the time to make this transition. That's the act of a true friend. And I thank my dear friends who work here at Yale Law School, especially the astonishing associate deans who Kate mentioned, and the incredible Georgianne, Marianne, Beth, and Carolyn in the dean's office. These last 5 years, you let me stand at the head of the ship, but I always knew the ship sailed because of you. Whenever I asked for help, and let's face it, it was pretty often, you gave that help without hesitation because you truly believe in a community of commitment. I thank our incredible graduates, the 24 classes I've watched pass through your seats, the many more who fill my mind's eye. Since my nomination, so many of you have shown your friendship in such touching and warm ways, saying how close you feel, despite the miles and the years, to the ethos of this special place. One email put it well. He wrote, "What Yale Law School graduates share is they understand that they have, quote, both extraordinary abilities and extraordinary responsibilities. On reflection, the entire Yale Law School enterprise is a butterfly, a bumblebee that can't possibly fly. But it flies nonetheless, only because of the collective faith we all have in it." And to my colleagues, I say, thank you for letting me serve as your dean. These last few weeks reminded me again, we are the luckiest people on earth. Unlike those in government service, we're free to speak our minds. We're charged only to seek the truth. We teach the greatest law students in the world. Through our scholarship, we can design better worlds, and we live in a community that fully supports our values. It really doesn't get much better than that. So thank you all. Thank you for honoring me with your friendship. And please, all of you, do me one last favor. Please give the same extraordinary friendship and support to my successor. To the members of the class of 2009, I say you belong to the first genuinely global generation. You've grown up in the age of the internet. Unlike your parents who say things like, "Can you help me get on the interweb?" You have lived your entire lives online. As Van Jones told you at the Rev Law Conference, if 20 years ago you had sat on a park bench and the world's knowledge flowed into your lap, they would have called you a god. Today, that's just you opening your laptop. 20 years ago, if you had walked down the street, moving your lips, and someone could hear you in China, they would say, "There's a god." But it's just you calling your friend on your cell phone. But here's the irony. Until now, you've more often thought of these technologies as toys, not tools. You've more often used technology to imagine yourself a rock star or an auto thief. Than to imagine lifting others out of poverty and disease.